I'm starting to believe Donald Trump. The reason why I'm saying this is I've been listening to the facts. And the fact is that Donald Trump did everything he said he was going to do. I am not a Donald Trumper. I'm never going to be. Because I still think there's all kind of stuff there that is not exactly for black people. For the fact that there's been a bunch of hangings while Donald Trump was still president. See, the Donald Trumpism hurts and helps. See, the Make America Great Again is for white America. It's not for black America. You would think because of all the things he's done in office, he even did some stuff for black people, but the white racist people come out in droves for Donald Trump, and they think it's only for them, and this is why you have a lot of dead black people during the time Donald Trump was in office. I mean, they were hanging young men at high schools. This actually happened. So that's the biggest problem with Donald Trump is when the racist white people think make white America great again, but they don't understand that the stuff Donald Trump has done for actually black people. I mean, some of the biggest things is he let a lot of people out of jail who were going to be there for a while. A lot of black people, you know, people who were in there for 20, they were going to be for 20 years. He let them out, you know, rappers, and politicians, and one lady was in there for, you know, for weed. You know, Kim K was just like, Donald Trump, get this person out of jail. He was like, you're out. Donald Trump was getting people, not only was he getting people out of jail, but he was saying, all of you people who are convicted felons, and then he looked at their cases and he said, you're a felon for what? Smoking weed? Nope. He said, you're now allowed to vote again. No president has ever done that. No president. As a matter of fact, when you look at the president that black people like the most, when you start looking at those presidents, you start thinking, compared to Donald Trump and what he actually did for black people, and then compared to the presidents that we actually wanted, is he did more than the presidents who we actually was just like, yeah, let's go. Let's go, Obama. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Obama didn't do nothing for black people, because Obama was the one, for one, Obama implemented, he did not make up, he implemented the whole, you know, healthcare thing where you got an Obama phone and all that. So he did that to help out a lot of poor people. But let's understand this, there are more white people, poor white people, where there are more white people. There are more poor white people in the country than there are black people. So that helped out, that didn't help out an ethnic group. It helped out people who are under the poverty line. So let's just do that. Also, Obama was sensitive to black people when it came to the police. There's a big problem with police brutality. So what Obama did was he implemented the camera. And you know, there's been a lot of crime that has been seen by the police. You know, them recording their own self committing these crimes and shootings and stuff like that, and them getting caught, and some of them actually going to jail. There's been other ones who got caught doing it and they didn't care. They didn't even go to jail. So we know that Obama did implement that. You know what I'm saying? When it came to Bubba, we was like, yeah, Bill Clinton. And the reason why we liked Bubba so much is because, for one, Bubba lived in New York. You know what I'm saying? I think he lived in Brooklyn or something like that. Played the saxophone, and he loved the ladies. We was like, Bubba's a black man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Clinton. You know, now the whole thing with him and Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office, it was just like, bro, that was foul. That was all a foul. But you having a young woman? Nah, we ain't scoffing at that. You know, because older guys like me, young women come on to me all the time. Not all the time, but they do. Whenever I'm around them, it's just not hard for me to talk to one of them and actually take them out, you know, date one of them. young women like older men. It is what it is. But Monica Lewinsky and her mother had a whole plan, and that's what they did. And the only thing Monica Lewinsky is famous for is that 20 years later, is that people still are interviewing her over the dress and the stains on the dress, which you took home and saved. It's just like, you witches had a plan, you know, you knew what was going on. That's that. Yeah, super. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? She was the original super. Actually, the original superhead is Marilyn Monroe. Let's. Okay, but Monica Lewinsky had a whole plan. Her and her evil mother, and they went through with that plan. And you know, Bubba got caught up in it. But when you look at Bill Clinton, we were just like, yeah, Bill Clinton. Reason why we liked Bill Clinton, I mean, there's more reasons, is because during the time that Bill Clinton was in office, the economy was booming. It is doing the opposite of what it's doing now. It is booming. I had a decent job. I was making decent money. You know, it was booming. But here's the whole thing. Bill Clinton and Hillary were actually against, I would say, minorities for the most part. Why? Because they made laws to keep you in jail forever. The three strikes law. Not only that, Hillary Clinton, that is some kind of evil right there. Hillary Clinton also was doing the whole thing with Planned Parenthood. This was also separating poor people, especially minorities, taking the fathers out of the lives of the children and away from the mother and the children, so they can come in and, you know, do whatever they wanted with the children. And that's what it just seems to be all about the children these days, the indoctrination of the children. And a lot of what we're seeing now has been going on, but now it's in the open. Now you got kids that are in school in the 6th grade, they're reading about lady juice. Like, there's books that these teachers are reading about a woman's private part to 6-year-olds, and these teachers are like, you need to learn about. It's all indoctrination. It's all trying to get the children to have this sick frame of mind where they're not sure of what they are, just so they can come in and say, this is what we want you to be, this is what you are. Schools have always been places for indoctrination. They've always been places so somebody else that's pulling the strings can control you. Even my neighbor today, he was like, did you know the teachers were on strike? I'm like, no, I don't have any kids, you know. And I was like, no. He's like, yeah, my son, who is, you know, I think, I don't know, maybe 10, he said he's been at home this whole time because the teachers are on strike. They haven't given the teachers a raise in 5 years. He's like, yeah, they're striking. He's like, no, it's supposed to be over soon, but they're striking. They need money. They need this, that, and the third. So schools have always been places for indoctrination. I saw a video today where a lady was talking about, you know, joining the Kappa, Zeta, you know, whatever it is, the sororities and all that. She was like, I found out that it was not for God. It was for, you know, some evil empire. So they got out of it. So I'm just saying, when it comes to Trump and what Trump was doing, all the things that Trump was seeing, and he was like, I'm going to stop this, 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 and this. You got to understand, Trump is not a politician. He never has been. He's not a politician. When he came in and he talked about Germany, he said, if you don't stop what you're doing, you're going to be codependent on Russia for oil. That has happened. They laughed at him in office. He was like, I'm telling you what's going to happen. He said, if Joe Biden gets in office, he's going to raise your taxes and he's going to, gas is going to go up and all this other stuff. That actually happened. He said, this is going to happen if Joe Biden gets into office. That actually happened. And so now people are complaining about gas. And people are complaining about the cost of living. I saw a breakdown of someone who makes $1 million in the state of California. 49% of what they made went to taxes. 49%. I mean, just imagine if 49% of your check just went right out the door automatically. So right now, everything that black people wanted from Joe Biden is not happening. It is complete opposite. Everything black people thought we wasn't going to get from President Trump, we actually got. Everything he said, because we're so used to politicians lying, especially Republicans, we were just like, we don't trust Republicans, we're Democrats. Boom, he gets in there and he does everything he said he was going to do. You can't name that one thing he said he was going to do that he didn't do. Not one. So now we got this whole investigation because Donald Trump took papers out of the Oval Office once again. Donald Trump is not a politician. Now, did he know not to do that? He probably did. Did he do it anyway? Yeah, because he thought he was going to be protected. Do you know why he thought he was going to be protected? Because of the Bushes. The Bushes are mass murderers. They killed so many people blatantly in front of everybody, including 3,000 people of 3,000 Americans on our own soil. They hit them, and Dick Cheney is one of the most evil people in the world. They ripped America off for billions of dollars right in front of everybody. Building number 6, nothing happened to that building. Boom. It fell because they blew up building number 6, collected the insurance money. It was just a travesty. And all these people got bailed out by AIG when Obama came in. So when everybody knew that that Rumsfeld and all these crooked people in office in high places in the Bushes, when they saw what both presidents, but when they saw what they did with the war and went and destabilized the Middle East, killed all those people, killed all those Americans, and all the crime that they did, and not one thing happened to them, not one investigation. Matter of fact, they were afraid that Obama was going to go in and open the investigations. Obama didn't open those investigations because he'd be a dead man right now. When they went and did that, why would you not think that you can go in and take some papers? These are papers. They're not harming anyone. Take papers. If Hillary Clinton can hide 33,000 emails, you take papers. You took papers. If Nixon can do Watergate, you take papers. You took papers. That's what you took. You didn't want people to see something, you took papers. That's what you took. Who's the one that sent those people over there to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Was that Eisenhower or one of them? I don't know who it was. They bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Do you know those two cities had nothing to do with the war? Nothing. They were all innocent people. Except we were fighting the empire of Japan at the time. And they also knew that the Pearl Harbor raid was coming. The president knew. How many people died at Pearl Harbor? How many Americans? You know why those people died? Because we needed a reason to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now think about all those people that died in an instant. But now, if the Japanese would not have come into Pearl Harbor and so-called flew up under our radar, in which we couldn't see miles away, we couldn't see you miles away, coming in with them Spitfires that they had, them Zeros they had, we couldn't have seen. That's BS. We knew those planes was coming, blew up Pearl Harbor, and now we have a reason. What is the same thing they've done before? Oh, you guys bombed us in 9/11. So now we're gonna go over there and get the. Am I lying? Isn't that the same thing that happened? Oh, they bombed us in Pearl Harbor. They sank one of our ships that killed 1,100 men who were at the bottom of that, whatever that is, in Pearl Harbor, still banging on the walls for days. King. They were like, we're still in. They had air. They had food. They're banging. Bang. These are sailors. These are American sailors. And they told them, we are not going to go down there and rescue those people. They left those soldiers there to die. And those soldiers were thinking, this is America. We're Americans. We're soldiers. They wouldn't do this to us. It had to be done. Your sacrifice. Listen, I'm starting to believe Donald Trump now. Look, I'm not all for Donald Trump, but I'm starting to believe because this non-politician got in there and did everything he said he was going to do. Now he has this force behind him. Listen, if they don't derail Donald Trump, there's not one person who's running for office. There's not one person who can beat Donald Trump if he gets in office. You name me one. DeSantis, not going to happen. Schwarzenegger, you can forget it. Who? There's not one person who can beat Donald Trump in office. Not one. So what do they need to do? They need to derail him some kind of way. And this is the way they're going to do it, because if he's indicted, there's a law that said you cannot run for president again. This whole thing is clockwork. It's if you just lay back and look at it, and then when you look at the laws that they're using, what they got on you is papers. They don't have a war on you. They don't have mass killings on you. They don't have they have your people stormed the White House. Okay, we went through that. They didn't indict you for that. They didn't indict you for that. They're trying to indict you for taking papers. There's only one reason for this. They do not want you to get back in office. Because if you get back in office, not only did you take half of the military with you, listen, if you go back in history, and especially European history, you see the same thing all the way through European history. Napoleon, same thing. Napoleon decided, you know what, I'm going to be emperor. He became emperor. I'm just telling you guys, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not a Donald Trumper. I don't, the whole Make America Great Again. But I'm looking at everything skeptically now. I just am. It's your boy Tone 202. I'm out. Peace.